So if you logged on to Maladath this morning, an Australian World of Warcraft Anniversary server, and thought, why does this feel like I'm playing from another country? That's because you are. Blizzard quietly moved Maladath OCE onto the US servers with no warning, no announcement, and no communication to Oceanic players. Just higher ping and silence. Now, normally I'm a retail player, particularly with my WoW Completionist series, but I still do make some classic content and enjoy the classic vibe. Maladath wasn't just another realm. For OCE players, it meant low latency, playable PvP, responsive raids, and a reason to actually resub in some instances. People chose Maladath because it was Oceanic. Then, overnight, 20 to 40 millisecond ping became 200 to 400 milliseconds, spells delay, melee desync, rubber banding in raids. That's not a small inconvenience, it's a fundamentally worse experience. Here's where this becomes a real problem. This wasn't communicated, not on the WoW website, not on the forums, not in the launcher, and not in-game. Oceanic players logged in to discover their server had effectively been relocated overseas. And when something this big happens without explanation, people don't just get annoyed, they feel ignored. The first acknowledgement anyone could find didn't come from Blizzard officially, it came from Twitter, or X, from a personal account. Tom Ellis, a WoW Classic senior game producer, who tweeted, 4 hours of sleep, let's go, find all the Red Bull. Okay, diving back in, first major call out, yes, Maladath AU has moved to the US. This is insane because the comms telling you the realm is closing, is down to a few hundred players at peak, was entirely missed, which is a huge fail. Sorry to everyone surprised by that one, it was meant to be in the pre-patch post. So yes, not a mistake, Maladath has died as an effective realm, as everyone has moved to the US mega servers instead. So we'll be closing it to character creation and opening FCMs onto Dreamscypher and Nightslayer later today. There'll be a blue post about this coming as soon as we get FCMs working again. Boost is our first priority for the morning though. That's it. No forum post, no timeline, no explanation of whether it's temporary or permanent, just a tweet after the fact. And to be clear, this isn't about blaming one producer, the issue is that this was the only information OCE players got. When your entire region learns about a major infrastructure change from a tweet on a personal account, that's a failure of communication. And because Blizzard didn't communicate, anger filled the vacuum. One of the tweets doing the rounds says, pack of effing dog rats for axing OCE server in the middle of the night. Of course, they wait until everyone buys a boost, upgrade pack or resubs. Completely ruin the hype for TBC doing this. You're all scumbags. Now, let me be very clear, the language is over the top and I'm not endorsing it. But Blizzard cannot pretend that reaction came from nowhere. A lot of Oceanic players resubscribed, bought boosts, upgraded accounts and got hyped for TBC Anniversary, believing that they were playing on an OCE server. Then, in the middle of the night, that server is effectively gone. Even if the timing was coincidence, the optics are terrible. When expectations change after money is spent and nobody explains why, trust evaporates. This isn't really about latency, it's about respect. If Blizzard had said population decline or server consolidation, there's a temporary move, here's what we're doing next, people might still be upset, but at least they'd be informed. Instead, silence let the worst interpretations take over. Profit motives, deliberate timing, disregard for OCE players. That's what happens when you don't communicate. Oceanic players already deal with fewer servers, lower priority and delayed responses. So when something this big happens without notice, it reinforces the idea that OCE is an afterthought. Not a community to engage with, just a region to quietly move around. Blizzard, this isn't a tech issue, it's a trust issue. Come out and say why it happened, whether it's permanent or what OCE players can expect, because right now, Maladath didn't just move servers, it was just silently shipped overseas, and this community was left in the dark.